So today we are here with the Somers Athletic Director and also the Somers Sports Broadcasting Advisor, Mr. Hattem. Thank you for coming in today.
It's a pleasure to finally be invited on with you guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course, as always.
Yeah.
And Jaden, do you want to start off with the first question?
Yeah, sure. So, Mr. Hattem, what is your background in just like the world of sports before becoming an athletic director?
So much like you guys, I fell in love with sports from a very early age. I grew up in Queens, New York, and my dad used to take me to Jet fans and Jet games and Met games, and from there it was everything. I got into everything just like you guys. Played basketball and baseball in high school. Never played in college. Went to SUNY Cortland, and SUNY Cortland's a big phys ed school. A lot of our teachers here in district, our football coaches went to SUNY Cortland as well. It's the place to go if you want to get into phys ed. Did that. Got my master in health education, and away you go, and here I am. But growing up, I was a lot like you guys. I loved sports. I loved the social connections. My best friends to this day are people I played sports with when I was 8, 10 years old. So that was it. It's always meant a lot to me, and love doing what I'm doing now.
Yeah, so surrounded by sports your whole life, pretty much.
Surrounded by sports my whole life. I have 3 kids. I'm hoping to get them into sports, whatever they want to do. But sports is more than winning and losing. It's about I spoke about social relationships that I have.
Yeah, definitely.
I was having a conversation with one of our dads recently about his hiring practices for his own personal. He's a doctor and he's in the medical field, and he was talking about when he hires people in his field, he always looks for people that were athletes and played team sports, because of the bond that team sports and the lessons that we learn through team sports give you those skills necessary, some of those advanced skills necessary as you get older. So I think we could all agree sports is such a wonderful thing, from the actual game to what we learn beyond it and what we do beyond it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And the next question is, could you tell us a little bit about the position of athletic director and what you do?
Yeah, well, I do this, and this has been probably the highlight of my year, seeing the success of what you guys have done, right?
Thank you so much.
Yeah, listen, it's every day is just a treat to come in, and it's not just about the games, and it's not just about the work. From 4:30 to 7:30 when we have games, there's a lot of stuff that go on during the day. I'm surrounded by great people. One thing I'll always, I'll start with you guys and anybody that wants to listen. The relationships, having people close to you that can get stuff done is so important, right? And I'm lucky, as you guys know, Ms. Tippett in our office, my supervision staff, my colleagues, my administrative colleagues here are great. So they help along with all those things. You surround yourself with great people, you get great things done, and we do a lot here. Again, we do a lot. I'm into the phys ed side, the health side, the club side. This every second, and you guys know, you come in my office, you knock on the door, Mr. Hattem, you're free. I'm like, I got 3 seconds for you. You're a custodian, you're a grounds person. You do every job, but that's why I love it. I get into work, and there's not a quiet second until I walk out the door, and it's great. It keeps me busy.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. It's important to stay busy during the day.
It is. I keep the coffee right by my side. That helps too. So yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And now, what made you want to do this job, being an athletic director?
That's a great question, Jaden, and what made you want it? Because some days, I just talk about how great it is, but some days I leave here and I'm completely mentally and physically wiped. And I said, why did I want to do this job in the first place, right? But, in education, in administration, it all starts with the student athletes. It all starts with the kids. You guys are young men, but from K through 12. And I just love watching our athletes, our sports broadcasting club succeed. And I love watching our young men, young women grow, become better every day. I had a lot of coaches, a lot of people in my life through athletics that helped mold me into the person I am. And maybe, I guess, Jaden, it's a way of giving back and doing that for other people, right? And just watching our athletes, our students thrive and do things they love, and that comes in the world of athletics. So I think that was probably my main motivation, is that I had great people helping me along the way, and my utter joy that it brings me to watch young people succeed through athletics.
Sure, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, very lucky. I'm very lucky. So yeah.
Definitely. And Now, could you talk about what did you go to college for? And did you always plan to be an athletic director?
Yeah, so I don't know what I plan to do. Much like all of our high school students in this building, I was, and my parents, wonderful, and they always said, Mark, you just do what you want, but they knew how much I loved athletics. So I remember around my high school time, they said, how about phys ed? You could get into the coaching, you could do all that stuff. So that's where it started. I went to school for phys ed, like I told you, SUNY Cortland. In New York State, it helps if you also have a secondary degree in health education. A lot of schools now hire phys ed and health ed. As you guys know, Mr. Cleary's here. He's one of them, right? He has a phys ed degree, a health ed degree. So I got those done pretty soon. And then to become an administrator in New York State, you have to go to school for school building leadership. So it's you have to do a lot of service hours. You have to do, it was a process. It took a couple of years, but I wanted to do it. And I think just going through the phys ed and how much I love coaching, and again, it just gets back to my love of working with people and students. And I was like, hey, what better job to be in, right? I have 27 varsity coaches here that I get to work with, work alongside, mentor, problem solve, and that was the reason for going through. So my degrees are in phys ed, health ed, and school district leadership.
Yeah. Sounds like the work was worth it, huh?
It was very much worth it, Jaden, and just like what you guys are going through now, you have a love, and that love will guide what path you get to. So it's definitely worth it. I love what I'm doing.
So I guess, what are some highlights of being an athletic director? What are some great experiences that you've had?
Yeah, and again, not just because you guys are sitting here. This has been such a highlight. You guys have captivated our athletic community. I was just talking to Mr. Rodriguez about you guys, our high school principal, this morning about the work you've done. So the highlights happen every single day, every minute. You watch a kid hit a walk-off home run, or you watch a student athlete lose a big game but handle themselves like we want them to handle themselves and learn those lessons, right? So the joys of this job are in wins, losses, and everything in between, as long as our student athletes are conducting themselves and representing our school the correct way. I love it. I love it. I love to see our ninth graders come in. I love to see our parents jumping with joy in the bleachers for their child who achieves success, and everything in between. So certainly a wonderful job, and I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Sounds really cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah,
it's very cool.
What are some experiences you got to do, with Somers Sports, or just overall because you are athletic?
Yeah, so it's funny, Benny. I think a lot of what goes on here. So we have 27 varsity teams, right? And I was a baseball and basketball guy. That's all I knew. That was my life growing up in the city, and that's all I knew. I didn't play football, right? We didn't even have football in my high school. And now look at where I am here. Yeah, look at where I am, right? We're in the mecca of high school football. I didn't swim. I didn't ski. I didn't gymnastics. These are all programs for us, and it's allowed me. The cool experiences are that I've learned along the way. You become an athletic director. It doesn't mean I know the rules of every sport. So you learn a lot about things that you don't know. Lacrosse is going on right now, boys and girls lacrosse. Our coaches have taught me so much. I never knew about lacrosse, and I love the game now. Our varsity girls softball team is so much fun to watch, the energy, the passion. So the cool experiences come in, athletics is such a big world. We think we know what we know, but then you see other sports and how they practice and how they prepare, and a lot of it is a learning experience, and I've learned a lot, but you get to see people just do what they love, right? Every day with a passion. Our coaches here are the most amazing people. I always joke to our parents, I say, our coaches probably work for about 5 cents an hour. Coaches put in so much work, so much time, so much effort for our kids, and to watch them try to be as good at their craft as they can for our student athletes is an incredible experience for me. So, I just think just being around all these sports, learning, seeing people succeed has been a wonderful experience for me.
Yeah,
definitely.
And I know it might be difficult, but if you had to pick a favorite sport, where would you go?
So I think my favorite sport, Jaden, I was a basketball guy growing up. I coached it here in Somers. Yeah. But I think my favorite sport right now is I have 3 seasons of favorite sports. I've become a true fan of whatever those teams that are playing in that. So I love every sport. I try to get to as much as I could. It's hard. Mm-hmm. So my favorites, I'll dodge the question. I won't give you one.
Okay,
But I
sure.
will tell you that I have 3 seasons of favorite sports.
Okay.
And while I'm there for a lot of reasons, I'm honestly in my heart. You don't see it, but like I cheer for our kids, and I cheer for our coaches, right? Because I know how much it means to them. Right,
Yeah.
so I want to see those people succeed so bad. I can't show it because I have to maintain a level of professionalism. I don't want to
Yeah.
jump up and down when we win a game, but I think every sport we have here in Somers is my favorite sport, depending on the time of
Yeah.
year. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And so now going into each like sport event or game,
Yeah.
what is the process of like planning each game?
Yeah, so it starts with Miss Tippett every day. I mean, it's a thing, right? So we get in, and the process starts in the morning. You have to make sure your fields are ready. You have to make sure the buses are ready to go. You have to confirm with the other school, hey, are you coming to us? Again, weather is a huge thing this time of year. You know, we're canceling, rescheduling. There's a lot of stuff that just goes on to get a team here, right? And for me, a huge thing for me is that our fans come and enjoy a safe environment, right? That they could come and enjoy a game. Everybody comes safely, goes home safely. I have a great supervision staff that I work with that ensures that. I give them so much credit for what they do behind the scenes. And every sport, again, you just want to make sure that your kids have the best opportunity to play. The fields are clean, the fields are safe, the goals are ready, the balls are blown up. So there's a lot of little things that go on, but I have great people around to help out. I have Miss Tippett during the day, I have my supervision staff after school, and I have my coaches, obviously, that do a lot of that stuff. And after doing it for a couple of years, it just kind of rolls, you know, especially when you have experienced coaches. But just to get to that tip of the ball or the face-off, it's a lot of work. But we get there. We get there.
Yeah, definitely. It seems like a lot of people, a lot of moving parts, and
Yeah, you guys see it, right?
Yeah.
You're here as much as they are now, and
Yeah.
it's a lot of moving parts. And one thing, again, you need to build those relationships and have good people around you, and I'm certainly lucky to do that, to make those moving parts work. This isn't a Mark Adam thing. This is a whole team thing, and I'm very blessed and fortunate to have great people that I work with that help me out on a daily basis.
It's great.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. What's your favorite sport, Jaden?
It's hard to say.
Al, you got to come on. You got to give an
I like
answer.
baseball, like
Okay.
just to be involved with.
Yeah.
But for I guess more of the broadcasting, probably football
Yeah,
and just the community.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's funny. It's interesting. I asked you guys that question, and Benny, I'd love to know too. It's
Yeah.
what's your favorite sport, and then what's your? I'll ask it in a different way,
All right.
and you got to give an answer.
Okay.
What's your favorite sport to broadcast?
I gotta say football, because football has always been my favorite sport since the beginning. And just sport I've always enjoyed. I came into it already knowing it very well, and it's always been football. But I've also enjoyed like lacrosse. I came into the season not even knowing anything, basically nothing about lacrosse.
Yeah.
I've learned so much and fallen in love in the sport.
It's an
And
amazing sport,
It's been
lacrosse.
less than a month.
Sure.
I'm probably gonna follow it, maybe even broadcast it one day.
Great,
And I'm
great.
looking forward for that.
And
also,
you could follow a lot of our athletes in college too. A lot of lacrosse athletes are playing
yeah,
college.
definitely. And also, another sport I've always loved is basketball. And then a sport that Somers doesn't have, a sport that I've always loved, is car racing, NASCAR, and IndyCar, and yeah, that's always something I like to do.
I think the
for fun
best
as
we
well.
could do there is track and field.
Yeah.
Going around, but the race car is definitely a cool thing. That's a wild sport.
Yeah, definitely.
And how about you, Jaden? What's your favorite? Benny gave us 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Were you able to narrow it down to one or no?
Like to broadcast?
Just to broadcast. You have a big game, right?
Yeah.
A section championship
It's
or a
football.
big right. It's football. That's
His
the one that's got
community, just
Yeah, brings a
people,
passion.
and also how much like we're trying to really make it. So football like stands out a lot next year. So like
That's
get
awesome.
everything, prepared perfectly, get ready for
Well,
that.
you guys did a great job. There's a lot. I give you guys a lot of credit because nobody talks to Mr. DiMatteo during the week. Coach DiMatteo, he
Yeah.
gets, and you guys managed to get him in and get all those answers.
Definitely.
And you talk about my highlights. I think maybe the 1A for me was watching you guys have the chance to do the state championship game up in Syracuse and
Yeah,
that
it
experience.
was
So
unbelievable.
football's cool, and but they're all great. And I love to hear that you guys are loving some of those other sports, right? And
Yeah,
because there's a beauty in all sports. sport, and very cool.
Yeah.
So,
And
yeah.
I just want to say another thing is, Jaden was mentioning it a little bit, but like this season, like this was really when I got first into Somers sports, and just seeing how this community has come together for like all the sports is just great to see and great to be a part of as well.
We're lucky here. This is not normal. What we have here goes on only a couple other schools in this section, the 77 schools, and we're very lucky in Somers. Very lucky.
So, how do you determine like who is best for a job, just in the athletic department? Like, how do you just find the right person? How do you make sure they're good?
Yeah, something I learned along the way is once you hire the right person, you only want to hire that person once. Right, or you only want to hire a person once for a position.
Yeah.
Right. By the time I retire, if I hired somebody, I've been lucky to hire some great coaches.
Yeah.
JT Genovese, Teresa Ricky, and I never want to hire for their positions ever again. And at the core of it is I hire high character people. Everybody knows the game, right? To some know it a little bit more. But you want great high character people leading our student athletes, and I always have a slight tint, Jaden, on people that went to Somers and might have graduated Somers. Love to bring back our old student athletes.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And another question I have for you is there a certain opponent that Somers always plays that you just look forward for each year if you had to pick one?
Yeah, the rivalry games, which is everybody in our area. Although that's changing with some league alignment stuff, but the Yorktowns and Maypacks, the Cross Rivers, those are always the big ones. And you guys are big sports fans, right? So the teams you see a lot. Everybody knows tendencies, and they get on each other's nerves a little bit more. So those games always tend to bring out the best in kids, and so I would say our local games, our local rivalries. Yeah.
Definitely. Another question I'm going to throw in there is there any parts of an athletic director that people may not know about?
Yeah, Benny, thank you for asking that, because I think the job lends itself to having to make decisions, tough decisions, and honestly, I think at the end of the day, I like I told you, I just love this place. I'm kind of a big teddy bear in a way that I enjoy people, and I want the best for people. Unfortunately, every day there's tough decisions, there's removing spectators from games, there's all kinds of things that you have to be very assertive with. With that being said, I love this job, and in the down, the inside, Benny, I'm just I'm a big kid like you guys are that just love the game, love cheering for teams, and just want to see our teams win. So yeah.
And final question for today: what is your most proudest moment as an athletic director?
Maybe our sports broadcasting club, but there's been a lot of proud moments. We're doing something next weekend. We're doing our first annual Girls in Sports Day. We have 60 plus girls in it from our district. Kindergarten through fifth grade come in with 11 different varsity coaches. And doing those things where you're giving kids the opportunity. It's not just about the high school kids, it's about the whole community. There's so many of those, right? The success of you guys, the success of our programs. I go to my meetings, I talk to other ADs, and what we do here in Somers is truly special. And there's so many successes, the relationships I built, like I talk about the people I have working for me, but man, I could go on and on with that question, but I think every day there's just a new really cool thing that happens, and I'm a lucky person to walk in this building and see what's going to happen. Today we have a baseball game, softball game, and greatness could happen just like that, right? You might see something special. So a lot of proud moments, and those are usually a daily thing for me.
All right, well, we very much appreciate you.
You guys are the best. Thank you. Thank you. Look forward to the work. I'd like to thank you for all your work. I know you graduated this year, but the club's in great shape, so thank you for all your work.
All right, thank
you.